Welcome to 65. This is your podcast where we honor the wisdom of age, we amplify the voices of elders, and also try to bridge the intergenerational gap. I'm your host, Honorable Dr. Stella Oluwarotimi Ayamara Dorgu. Each episode, we try to bring you remarkable elders whose experiences span some decades, and they share with us the wisdom that has kept them all through their years. Today we have one such remarkable person, Pastor Jide Akerele. He's a pastor, he's a cyber and security expert, and he's been around. You're welcome to
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, I would want you to introduce yourself.
Firstly, I'm 80 years young.
Oh.
Okay? Born in Lagos, of good family, the Akerele family, I believe is very well known in Lagos. And my mother was a lawyer, called to the bar, the English bar, Lincoln's Inn in 1954. My dad was one of the first indigenous civil engineers in Nigeria. I schooled in Lagos Island, Holy Cross Catholic School, then St. Gregory's College. Then I went to the UK in 1966, January, just after the Tafawa Balewa government was sacked. Then I went to University Tutorial College, did my A-levels, then went on to Westminster College, again in London. I worked severally in the UK as freelance technical author. Okay?
You will tell us more about that, but please just go ahead.
Now, a technical author is somebody that gets all base documents of a system that's been designed, and then he goes through them and then writes about descriptive, operational, maintenance, servicing, commissioning manuals, as well as the end user manual. I wrote about the Unimat 4080 microprocessor-based systems, which is a telephonic peripheral. I wrote about URV-01, underwater research vessel number 1 for the Admiralty in the UK. I wrote about NAVAIS, navigational aid systems for Plessy radar, about civilian and military aircraft. I wrote about the CU-42 headset tanks for NATO tanks. I did a lot of those things. Then when I got fed up with the UK, I came back to Nigeria to do what I call nation building. Then I ventured into politics, and I didn't like it much because what I was bringing was alien to what obtains here. I thought I would bring in sanity into the politics.
Or some innovation.
But it did not work.
Some integrity.
Yes, but it didn't work. In fact, at one point, I nearly lost my life because hired assassins came to my house and people were killed in my house. Okay, so, but I'm alive to tell the story. So that's basically it. Okay. In short, that's me. Okay, but I also met the Lord, and I've not looked back since. You would not have liked to have known me before I met the Lord Jesus Christ. You would not have liked me at all. In fact, when I think of myself, I didn't like what I was. Yes, but sorry, it's not what you were, but what you are and where you are going when you finish. That's the important thing. Okay?
Thank you. Welcome again.
Thank you.
You said you came for nation building.
Yes.
First of all, before we do that, can you just paint a little bit of a comparative picture of the educational system that you left here in Nigeria? That's years ago.
Yes.
And what obtained in the UK?
Massive difference. No comparison whatsoever. But the thing was, having said that, in the 1960s, late 50s and early 60s, there was sanity in education. What you see is what you get. You never heard of anybody using backward method to get qualifications. If you sit for an exam, you are sure of getting the right results. You cannot manipulate results then. What you have now is different. I now hear something about called special centers. What on earth is special center? A special center, for what I gathered, is when students have paid far much more than they are supposed to pay for their exams, and they now send them to a particular designated center
so that they can be taken care of.
Yeah, so they can be settled. Okay, so they now come out with flying colors, and they are no use to industry when they come out. So basically, what you have in the UK, they look at it. Maybe after every 10 years, they say, this thing is not working the way we want it to work. Let's do it again. Let's find out a better way. First of all, we have GCs, then GCSEs, and then and they go on and they keep tinkling with the system until they get it perfect. And even when they think they've got it perfect, they still change it later on to accommodate the populace. So
in other words, they move. It's a dynamic system.
It's fluid.
It's fluid, where people keep on re-engineering.
Yes, it's fluid. Yes, it's fluid.
Older people, when you were growing up,
yes,
you grew up in Lagos. Lagos is not as chaotic as it is today.
Yes.
You are a true Omo Eko. The elders. We listened to our elders.
Yes.
We minded what they said because we didn't want somebody to say, Jide, ma lọ sọ fún màmá ẹ. Ma lọ sọ fún papa.
Yes.
You didn't want that to happen.
Yes.
Is it the same thing today?
Definitely not. You see, right now, morality has been packaged and thrown out of the window. What I grew up with was discipline. You are not disciplined by only your parents. You are disciplined by everybody in the neighborhood. It's everyone in the neighborhood that brought you up, not just your parents. When you wake up in the morning, the first thing you do is you sweep the streets, government streets, not only your house, you sweep government streets before going to school. After that, you go to school. They don't give you much money. They give you just enough for you to buy your food. In fact, in most cases, they give you food to take to school. And then, when you're coming back, and you do something that you're not supposed to do, God help you, before you get home, something is waiting for you. Not that they'll hammer you, but my goodness, my grandmother used to have this long, beautiful stick.
It's beautiful
when you are coming in and you see it being waved like that, you're up to something. You are going to receive something. But it got us where we are now. It taught us a lot. You don't take things for granted. You don't want anybody to see you doing something wrong, and you don't do something wrong because you know you're going to pay for it. So, but it's not like that now. Even the children of now will be telling you, you go home or go and tell my parents, and then of course the parents too are afraid of the children now. And they see
what happened? Why do you think? Where did that break down?
Thank you. What basically has happened is that we've had an influx of strange ideas coming to Lagos. You have people coming in with different ideologies from what obtained while we are here. When you bring in somebody from the outside, and he dilutes what you already have on the ground, and then the people will say, okay, let's join them, let's experiment with them. And the whole thing breaks down. In fact, when I was a child growing up, you never heard of children in the area being taken to the police station or being arrested. Everybody behaved themselves because they knew that they have a name to protect. Not now. It's a different ball game now. Whenever you see somebody doing something wrong, then he's ashamed because he knows that he's going to spoil the family name, but not anymore. It doesn't work like that now. Okay? It doesn't work like that now.
Today, it's money speaks.
Yes. Actually, he's not speaking to me at the moment. Yes, yes, very well. Yes, yes. Everybody wants to get rich at any
By hook
cost.
or by crook.
Yes, at any cost.
How do you think this wanting to get rich mentality, how did it start and where has it gotten us?
I believe that it's always been there. It's always been there. It's just that it's been operated from the background. You know, I call it a syndrome. It's this get rich quick syndrome. The only money that stays is the one you work for. If you work for your money, you don't want to lose it easily. But to now say, I get involved in a Ponzi scheme, I put 20,000 down, and in every week I get 20,000 returns. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work. People should learn to grow wealth, not to get rich quick. And forgive me, I'm going to delve into an area where I don't know enough about, but which I don't believe in. But when people tell me that they do money rituals, sorry, I don't believe it. Because you see, if somebody says, I acquired £1 billion through money rituals, now where is the money coming from? Is it somebody's money in the bank that's been lost? Or has CBN lost money? Because if everybody does money rituals and they keep getting all this money, where's the money coming from? It must be coming from somewhere. I mean, it's not printed money. It's coming from somewhere. So I find it difficult to believe you can translate human flesh into money. That's my take. I find it difficult.
Many people don't believe.
I wouldn't want to find out, but our generation. Yes, I want to find out, but I don't believe it works. Okay? So people just want to get, and if somebody has a lot of money, to me, he stole it. Don't tell me that you use money rituals and you got money from money rituals. I don't buy that.
But there are people who were genuinely rich.
Oh, yes.
People that went into different kinds of businesses, industrialists.
Oh, yes.
And we have them aplenty.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. No doubt about that. If you can trace, the accountants say money leaves an audit trail. It leaves a trail. But if we don't know the source of your money, actually, in any event, I don't have any respect for anybody who has a lot of money. I don't have respect for it. Yes, but if you have money, let it work for you. Don't forget those who don't have. Don't forget those who don't have. To me, I don't want to be rich. I want to be wealthy, because wealth is grown. Riches come and they fly off. So I prefer to grow wealth, which is what everybody should aspire to do. Because once you are wealthy, you know how hard you worked to get that wealth. Okay? So that's it.
Our children. Some people say we shouldn't blame them. It's the Gen Z generation where AI is doing a lot of things. Too many lies are being told about with AI, and people are comfortable. There's the Yahoo syndrome, things like that. Where do you think that parents got it wrong?
Actually, I don't think parents got it wrong. I think it's you have to learn to move with the times. We cannot say because some people use AI, artificial intelligence, wrongly, negatively, that it is bad. It's a useful tool to be used for advancement of society. Now, when people use AI to commit crime and all sorts of things, then that is wrong. Internet fraud, wire fraud, all these things, they're alien to us. Yes, it's brought in. It's not a Nigerian thing. It's not an African thing. It's brought in from abroad. I was just reading my paper this morning that 2 Chinese were sentenced to about 92 years in prison. Now, Chinese coming to Nigeria to do this? Why don't they do it in China?
Yes.
Why don't they do it in China? But they come here to do it because they know that this is fertile ground for things like that. Now, AI can be used positively. I find out information on AI. There are some Jewish things that I knew nothing about, but I go onto AI and it tells me a lot of things about it. So it's a useful tool to have, but when you misuse it, then it's wrong. It's very wrong. Okay.
I'm smiling
Uh-huh.
because it seems that you're quite comfortable with technology, with the use of technology. And for your age, when you grew up mostly in the analog world, you've crossed over quickly into the computer age.
Yeah.
Is it something that you would advise people 80 and above to do?
Yes, you are never too old to acquire
learn.
skill and to learn. You know, they call people like me, they say we are the BBCs,
What's that?
born before computers,
Okay.
or the BBC. I say, well, I don't know about me being a BBC, but I'm always learning. I want to learn new skills. Well, I don't want to be a vulcanizer or anything like that, don't get me wrong, but I want to learn new skills. So if it's going to be useful to me, why not? I encourage my children too to learn new skills. Well, they are actually computer literate far earlier than me anyway.
Of course.
I used to have a young girl as office assistant sitting there. She had a telephone. I said, "Oh, nice phone." She said, "I bought it 250,000, and I use a phone cost 20,000."
Mhm.
I was wondering if I, who pays your salary, uses a phone of 20,000. Now, where did you get money to buy a phone of 250,000? I discovered that her salary of 50,000 per month would take 5 months to buy such a telephone. What? And she said to me one day, she said, "Oh, sir, I'm a Gen Z." I said, "You're a Gen rubbish. I don't believe in Gen Z." Because in fact, there's an American study that said that Gen Zs know have far less than their contemporaries who are much older. That they don't know much at all.
That is true.
Yeah, it's a study that they don't know much. Whatever you say to them, they say, "I'm a Gen Z," because they want to hide behind the cloak of Gen Z.
Their ignorance.
Their ignorance,
or
yes.
the shallowness.
Yeah.
Because everything for them is just on the computer.
Yes, Gen Z. I don't know. If it makes them happy, let them do it. But sooner or later, they'll grow out of it. That's the only consolation.
I've gotten one important thing, and that is that you're not too old to learn.
Oh, yes.
In fact, that's one of the things that we preach at QP65.
Yeah.
And so if you at 80 are quite comfortable with using AI, with advancing knowledge, then maybe many of us should do that. Learn new skills, not only the computer. They also say that older people should do new things to keep your brain alive. What are the things that you do?
I mean, I like reading. I read a lot. I read anything. Also, I do a write-up every day. I do a morning write-up, spiritual write-up every morning. And because it takes about 5 minutes to read or less, people don't read it. Why? They say it's too long. But if it's a story about somebody that was killed in a hotel and it takes about
anything that titillates,
they will read that. But they will not read anything that's going to be of more value to their lives. They're not interested in that. They are more interested in, somebody carried one woman to a hotel somewhere and then he escaped and then they found the dead body and somebody was killed for rituals and so. They're more interested in that, but not interested in what God is saying to you to do, how to move the nation forward, how you must humble yourself, seek the face of the Lord, and then pray, and God will change the country. They're not interested in that. They don't want to know. They're more interested in finicky things, fickle. They're very fickle-minded.
Now, you've touched on spirituality.
Yes.
And the kind of things that we're supposed to be interested in. As an older person, what does spirituality do for your life? You've come to this point, you're 80 years old.
Young.
I'm sorry. You're 80 years young.
Yes.
And counting. I know somebody, my mother actually, who used to say that she is 25, going on 99.
Good.
So, how does spirituality help to keep you this young? And is it something that you want to recommend to other older people?
Yes, firstly, you have to believe in something. You know, you have to believe in something. If you don't believe in God, you obviously believe in Satan. But to me, it's my life before I became a Christian. I mean, I was a nominal Christian. The fact that you are born into a Christian home does not make you a Christian, okay? Now, when I became a Christian, I found a lot of peace. A lot of peace. If, in those days, if I didn't have any money, I used to worry. I was a warrior. I worried about everything under the sun. But when I met the Lord Jesus Christ, I became a warrior for Christ. From a warrior to a warrior. Now, I found inner peace. If I don't have anything, I just know that He doesn't want me to have it. God doesn't want me to have it. Whatever I want and He wants me to have it, I'll get it. So it's given me a sense of value, to value life, to value people. You know, I don't write off anybody. It's not possible for me to write off. If I'm quite comfortable hopping on a Marwa or Kombi bus, anything, I'm comfortable because I'll meet the people the kind of people that I want to associate with. If I see them, I minister Christ to them. If you are driving your Jeep, I can't minister Christ to you in your Jeep.
Except you have access.
Except I see one-on-one. So mine is that having met the Lord, it's helped me tremendously. People see me on the road and people greet me and say, "Morning, sir." I wonder what they see in me. But I think maybe it's the calmness they see on my face, I don't know. But
they see Christ.
Or they see Christ in me, the hope of glory. So really, I carry Him. Because if you're a Christian, you must carry Christ in you. Okay? I'm what they call a Holy Ghost carrier. Okay? I don't get upset anymore. I don't know what you can do to make me angry or to make me upset. It's not possible. You have to try really hard to upset me now. So.
And how did you achieve that? Is it age? Would you say that everybody who's like 80 should be where you are? They become calmer, they become non-judgmental. Is it everybody that's like that?
It's got nothing to do with age. It's all He has to do with knowing your God. If you know your God, you shall do exploits, you shall be strong, you shall be an exploit doer. Okay, so calmness is long suffering, is part of it. Calmness, yes, it's a fruit of the Spirit. You know, if you're a spiritual person, all these things come to you easily. But then, having said that, you also have to work on it. Okay? You have to work on your salvation with fear and trembling. Every day, you have to kill your flesh. Because there are two things. You have the flesh and you have the spirit. The spirit and the flesh are always warring. They're always fighting against one another. So you must now put your flesh under subjection and let your spirit rule. Your spirit man must take over your body. Okay? So always operate in the spirit. And when you operate in the spirit, you mortify your flesh. So that's basically, it's got nothing to do with age. You could have a 16-year-old who's spirit-filled, will still be exhibiting the fruit of the Spirit. Okay? It has nothing to do with age, I'm sorry. Okay?
Let us talk about parenting. A lot of times, parents say that It's one of those things. It's like marriage. There's no playbook for marriage. There's no playbook for parenting.
Yes.
Your parents, what were the things, the legacies that they left for you in terms of values? What kinds of things do you think you have left for your children? And how should? You said you came to Nigeria for nation building.
Yes.
Today we are at that point where we are at the precipice. We're almost at the point of implosion or jumping into that ravine. What can you say about parenting and values and legacies?
Yes. You see, a nation that does not believe in the ability of God to take care of their needs, they are going to go down. Now, parenting, let's start from parenting. A nation is a constituency, it's a huge constituency of individual families. It's the family unit. Yes, that enters and becomes a nation. If you get it wrong at the family level, then the nation is wrong. It's going to implode or explode, whichever way you want to look at it. Now, the values that my parents gave to us, they were extremely strict. Oh yes, we all studied abroad in England, all 5 of us. Yeah, fine. But the thing is, you can study abroad and still be a nuisance, and still be unacceptable to the world and be of no use to your country. But they were strict disciplinarians. So wherever you go, you must always remember where you are coming from.
Remember whose child you are.
Yes, you must remember where you're coming from.
Keep the flag flying.
So everywhere I went, I mean, I was in the UK for 15 years. Okay, most of the time I was working freelance after my university, after my studies. But I simply always remember that you have parents back home, and whatever you do, is it going to be good enough for them? What about what they have sown into you? What about what they've given you? What about what they've taught you? So you remember all those things. You know, forgive me for, I must say this in Yoruba. They said, "Tomba biye, wa tun ara e bi." You know, if they've given birth to you, then you give birth to yourself. You know, you train yourself all over again. Yes. So if you get it right at the family level, then you get it right at the nation level. Okay. But I'm not saying that it's perfect, it's rosy. You know, I'm not a politician, I'm not going to delve into politics, but I'm simply going to say that we've had so many different ideologies as to how the economy of this country will run. But at the same time, you concentrate too much about the exchange rate, but we're not concentrating about the morality of the populace. If you have no respect for the elders, you're going to get it because they've been there. We've had the SAP structural adjustment program, it got us nowhere. We've had all sorts of things, it's not getting us anywhere. Now we've gotten the new administration who is saying, they got it wrong in the past. Okay, let's try you, let's see what you can do. Yeah, yes, okay. Abiola said Hope 93. He was never given a chance to do it. But this young man who's modeling himself, I call him a young man because I'm older than him, okay? And I know him quite well. So those that are in power now, give them a chance. Let's see how far they take us. We are not going to go down. They'll all die, we'll all die. But Nigeria will still be there. But what kind of Nigeria are they going to live for us? What kind of Nigeria are we going to live for our children? That's what troubles me.
You talked about respect for the elders.
Yes.
It seems that we don't have enough respect for the elders. sometimes, or most of the time, after all those years of working, of planting, and then somebody just says, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ bàbá ẹ lọ jókòó síbẹ̀ yẹn o jèrè, or mama, or where I come from, mama, male, go and sit down there.
Yes.
As if you are a rag that should be cast away. How do you see that? How do you think that the elderly should be countenanced? Should there be a way to embrace the wisdom of the elderly, the wealth of experience that they need to pass on? Or is their time really over?
No. You see, a child or a young man or woman who has no respect for the others, that child or that person will also get there one day. And if that one doesn't show respect now, because you see, there's a saying that what goes round comes around. Whatever you do to the elderly will come back to you. I get a lot of respect and admiration from a lot of youths. My strong point is education. You see, when you look at those are flags that I received for education. Okay. Now, okay, there's also here when I received an award for education. I like young people. I acquire young people. I empower young people. And if somebody comes to me and says, I can't pay school fees, if I am able to assist, I will. So it's you. It must be a reflection of Christ. It must be a reflection of your Creator who supplies all your needs according to His riches in glory by Christ Jesus. If you don't, you must be a mirror image of your Creator. Okay? If you have nothing to offer, then nobody's going to follow you. So whenever you see a young man or young woman doing wrong or doing evil, you try and correct them. Okay? 9 times out of 10 they will listen. Trust me, 9 times out of 10 they will listen. But you will have that one prodigal son who will refuse to listen.
But will listen nonetheless later on, maybe?
Yes. Maybe I will just pray that it's not too late. You know, I used to go around delivering food to police stations for those inmates, and we go around, from the church. And most of the people that you see in police cells, they're all in the ages of between 20 to 30. So that means in effect that they have not listened. But then when you minister to them, they listen attentively. And they say, look, if I get out of here, I'm going to change. And we've had testimonies of people, young people, who changed.
So the older people should, rather than, because people have so-called cast them away, that they shouldn't.
No, they shouldn't. No, they shouldn't.
Cast themselves away, but
no.
look for opportunities to bridge the intergenerational gap. From what you're saying, whatever they need to do, it doesn't have to be academic education, but it can be cultural, skill acquisition, values. You're saying that the older person should not just sit quietly in a corner, but that these two should come out and try to see how they can interrogate
Yes, but see, the most important thing is to be an example of what you want them to be. You see, if you are a layabout, nobody's going to listen to you. If you are somebody who's quarrelsome in your neighborhood, nobody's going to listen to you. But if you exhibit some sense of morality and dignity, yes, they will listen to you. But right now, it's what's killing Nigeria or what's killing Lagos is, again, the influx of foreign ideology, foreign ideas, things that are non-Yoruba. In fact, having said that, I went to college with a lot of people from Calabar, Igbos, and the Igbos speak Yoruba perfectly, and we've maintained relationships even up till now. You know, I don't look at the Okonkwas, who are my contemporaries, and the Edets, who are from rivers and across river and so on, as being non-Yoruba. We all just grew up together. But now that you have all sorts of strange people with strange ideas, the influx of unacceptable and immorality, as it were, it's not making us to grow. I'm sorry. And you know, I don't like politics. But until we know where we are going, i.e., let the Yorubas be Yorubas, let the Igbos be Igbos, let the not be North. But the Yorubas have something like Omoluabi. Omoluabi really means that showing respect,
Having integrity.
having integrity. Your word is your bond. You know, so,
honesty.
Yes.
Gentleman's agreement.
Yeah. You know, it's a handshake is enough. I was in the lift one day, and somebody I used to respect a lot in this building was saying, he was answering, I'm in Abuja right now. And I respected the guy a lot. And we are in,
Those little lights.
yes, we are in Broad
White
Street.
lights.
Yes. And then when he said, he smiled, and then I just looked at him. Well, that's it. I'm not showing you respect anymore, because you don't need to. I'm sorry, I'm in Lagos. I can't do it. I can't come to you. Leave it, and that's it. But when you start saying I'm in Abuja and you're in Lagos, it's pure rubbish.
Just briefly, we look to God.
Yes.
Nigeria is supposed to be the second most religious country, I think, after, is it Afghanistan or India? But prayers are not going to make things right in Nigeria. The things that you've been talking about, those are the things that will make things right.
Yeah.
The level of honesty, the level of the sense of dedication, the level of commitment to going to school, to doing things right. My parents were civil servants. And in those days, the civil service was where everybody wanted to be.
Yeah.
But suddenly, somehow, everything went awry. And the system got broken. The structures just dismantled. How is prayer going to bring that back?
Yes. A prayerless person is really like a person about to commit suicide.
That is true.
Now, people say, they always use China as an example, that there are no churches, there are no mosques in China, but they all put their hands together to the plow,
And they roll together.
Yes, but you see, the thing is, there must be a balance. I've always said there must be a balance. God blesses the works of your hands. But if you have nothing to present to God, if you multiply 0 by 1 billion times, it's still 0. At least do some work. Yes, do some work. When you work, now present your works to God. But if you don't work and you sit down and say, God is going to rain down money on me, the days of the raining down manna on people is gone.
But the new churches preach that and say, unmerited favor. As you're walking out of this church, somebody is going to give you the keys to a house. Somebody is going to give you the keys to a car. You're going to get so much money. Somebody, your account will be. How do you defend that?
Yes, it's. I'm not going to try and defend Christianity, but I'm saying that churches like that are not real. Well, okay, all right. Churches like that are not real churches, are they? They are gimmicks, and I don't have time for gimmicks. Okay, I don't have time for gimmicks in church. Now, if somebody says, by the time you get home, someone is going to give you a car, it's possible, but it may be 1 in 1,000 or 1 million. You understand? If 20 people get keys to cars. By the time they leave church and get home, there's something wrong. Somebody's manipulating something somewhere. But where is the money going to come from anyway to give 20 cars to 20 people from church? No, it doesn't work like that. That's not what life is about. That's not what the church is about. The church, being a congregation of people, support each other, yes, but not the point of which you'll be saying, by the time you get home, there'll be a car waiting for you. Someone's going to give you a car. Someone's going to give you $1 million. No. I don't preach that. I can't preach that. I cannot. It's wrong. Okay.
Before we go, here you are, 80 years young.
Thank you.
And you are looking svelte. You're looking trim. There's a twinkle in your eyes. What's the secret?
Spirituality. That's it. I fast when I need to fast. For example, right now we're on the 30th day of fasting. When you look inside my cup, you see a lot of water. I'm allowed to drink water. Now, and another thing is
to protect your kidneys.
Yes, I walk. I walk a lot. Okay, I walk. And what you see, I find it difficult to meditate just sitting down. It's when I'm walking that I'm meditating. I pray when I'm walking, okay, and spend some quiet time with God. Spend some quiet time with the Lord. That's basically it, really.
What about food?
Yeah, well,
we're talking about well-being.
Yeah, I don't eat more than I need to eat. I'm not a glutton. Okay.
You can't be. That's a sin.
Yeah, gluttony is a sin. So I don't eat more than I need to eat, really. And I observe things like I don't eat more than really what I need to eat. I don't eat after 7 p.m. Okay, I don't eat after 7 p.m. I hate drinking water, but people tell me that I must drink water. Everybody's talking about it. So I started drinking just one of these bottles of water a day, and I don't have a doctor up to now. Okay.
I wanted to get to that.
I don't have a doctor.
Your health.
I don't have a doctor. I don't fall sick. I believe in divine.
But if you were to fall sick,
I won't.
At 80 years old.
Why should I fall sick? No, why should I fall sick? By his stripes I'm healed. Why should I fall sick?
But you see other people your age,
yes,
or even younger,
yes,
who are sick and cannot take care of themselves. What would you prescribe for to be done for those of us who have retired, who cannot access medical services?
Find Christ.
Come again and be a snake skin doctor. Don't come again and be a snake. Don't tell them to get home and find it. Because when cancer comes, when the ailments come, when prostate cancer comes, it's not only the prayers, it's also making sure that you are balancing both the prayers and what the doctors have said.
St. Luke was a physician. Okay, so God is not against seeking medical counsel. God is not against that, and because I have had malaria 3 times in 50 years, and the kind of malaria I have, I just discovered that I have a sour taste in my mouth in the morning, and by the evening time it's gone. Okay, so and then I said, look, I'll go to the doctor and say, oh, this is what happened. They said, oh, malaria. I said, oh, really? Do what works for you. You understand? If taking medicine works for you, do it. Don't use me as an example.
In that area?
Yes, in the area of seeking medical counsel. I didn't check my BP until I was 74. I never knew what BP was until I was 74. Now, I now make sure that I check my BP every 3 months. Okay? And it's always regular. Okay?
Pastor Jide, you are not the one to be giving this advice. So
what's wrong with checking every 3 months?
Every 3 months is too long.
Oh.
I'm sure that after people hear this program, your doctors are going to call you.
I don't have a doctor.
Okay.
All right, okay.
What should be done for the
All right,
older
okay.
people or
Okay,
the 80
okay,
years
okay,
young
okay,
people
okay,
in
all right.
terms of
All right.
access to health,
Okay.
keeping
Okay.
healthy.
Okay. You know what I think is wrong so far with the medical system in Nigeria. I'm not just going to leave it to Lagos State. When you look at the budget for for Medicare, is so small. The budget for Medicare is very small. The budget for education is very small. For health is very small. So government has not taken a role, a major role that they should for elderly people. Now, I would like a situation where, however old you are, get registered with a doctor. One. Now, doctors themselves should really say, look, I'm going to allocate so much in terms of revenue for elderly people, because people are afraid to go to hospital because they say, it's too expensive. I was talking with a young pastor. I call her young pastor. She's 67. Comparatively speaking, she's young. And she said, oh, when I called her about 2 days ago, she said, oh, I'm in the pharmacy. I said, oh, I hope all is well. She said, oh, I'm trying to get some drugs. I said, I hope you're all right. She said, I went to the doctor. He said, what's the thing that's wrong with me will cost me 600,000. I can't afford it. So I just went to the pharmacy. Pharmacy, well, you need these drugs. So if a 67-year-old woman goes to a doctor and says, pay 600,000, and she can't afford it, what does she do?
She goes and sits down at home.
I know of a lot of people who tells me that, oh, they rather consult the nurse in their neighborhood. Most people turn to the nurses in their neighborhood.
Or the pharmacist.
Yes.
Or the man behind the counter in a medicine store.
I've had people who work for me who say, I can't come because I'm taking a drip at home.
You're still listening to 65, and where we are having this insightful, quite deep conversation with Pastor Jide Akerele. We were talking about the healthcare system.
Yes.
And allocations or care or access of the elderly to
healthcare.
Yes.
There must be an access for them, because the elderly people have served, they paid their dues to the country.
Yeah.
And then when they now get old and feeble, you now discover that you jettison them and get rid of them, and they have no use to you anymore. It's not the ideal. I would like a situation where the special care is taken for the elderly. In fact, it goes even deeper than that, because if we want to talk about this, it's going to open a can of worms. I've known of people who worked for government, and when they retire, they can't get their dues. They can't get their pensions. Some people say they have to go to Abuja to go and get their pensions. You have to prove that you are still alive and not dead, because somebody somewhere has taken their pensions or their entitlement.
And some people die
and
yes.
So you need to really do a revamp of the whole thing. Why should I work for so many years, for decades, and at the time of retirement I get nothing? Doesn't make sense.
It's not fair.
It's not fair. And some people even
it's not even morally right.
Yes, and some people even say that the money they have, they've used it on doctors. They don't have any money to even eat. It's wrong. It's very wrong. You shouldn't do that. It's very, very wrong. So government should find a way of taking care of their elderly, of their aged. You understand? And then I will also implore doctors, even when you go on strike, have a think about elderly people. Because if they don't have access to hospitals, they'll only rely on the nurses in the neighborhood.
And even those people who are not really nurses or doctors, or maybe attendants who call themselves doctors.
And pharmacists are not doctors.
No.
Pharmacy are not going to supposed to dispense drugs.
Mhm.
Tell you, no, you bring a paper from. In fact, when you look at how it operates abroad, your GP gives you a paper. You take it to the pharmacist, or they call them chemists in the UK. Take it to the chemist. He dispenses what's been written down. But I can walk into a pharmacy here and say, I want to buy this. It's not going to say, where's the thing from your doctor? No, that's all. All right.
Not all the time. We must give them some due. There are some prescriptions
Yeah.
that you can't get over the counter.
Timmy, I'm telling you, you get your prescription, get it written by your doctor, let me know what it is, and I walk into the same pharmacy without the prescription and buy it.
Should we have a bet?
So,
What about other areas? In fact, you've talked about all of these areas rolled into one, where the elderly should really be taken care of. They should be considered in terms of getting their pension,
yeah.
in terms of seeking Medicare, in terms of housing. In England, once you're 60, you ride the bus free.
Yes.
You
Yes.
do this free. I have an uncle who's 91 or 92. He just had an operation last month, and it was for free.
Yes. Okay, we'll get there. We'll get there one day, but sooner rather than later, because people are dying, for no just cause. There's no reason. I don't know. I think one American president said Nigeria is too rich to be poor and too poor to be rich. We have enough resources to be able to do these things, but we don't do it. We concentrate on areas where we shouldn't. Okay, and I would like to see the elderly being taken care of, because they paid their dues, Timmy. They paid their dues, and when you work, you're supposed to get the fruits of your labor. But
because you've planted.
Yes, but it's wrong.
Planted.
What we are doing to the elderly is wrong. Okay, I mean, I'm 80. I'm still working. I'm still working. I enjoy what I'm doing.
Okay, it's not a prescription that every 80
No. If you are able to.
80-year young person.
Yeah. Yes, 80 years young. Yeah. I'm glad you keyed into that. Yes. So.
But they should not be idle.
No.
They should keep themselves.
Yes. Once your mind's gone, it's gone. You don't want to get your mind to go. Get your mind active. Okay. As long as you are active, your mind too should be active. Okay. So I renew my mind. Okay. So
reading and doing all kinds of things.
Yes. I read a lot.
Interacting with the young people.
Most of my best friends are young.
Using AI.
Yes, that's only a little bit of it. Studying the word. Walking. Yes. So.
And generally freeing your mind.
Yes.
Don't allow too many negative things to come through.
I shun negativities. I run away from negativities. Don't have time for it. I don't have time for it.
I wish we could go on and on. I hope you've enjoyed talking to me as I have enjoyed listening to you.
Great to have you around. It's great to have you around.
So this is where we draw the curtains on 65 for today. I hope that today's conversation has inspired you to treasure yourself. Don't look down on yourself. Not only the elders should treasure themselves, but that young people should treasure the older people. Because when they go, then you have nothing but memories, maybe good memories to remember them by. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and connect to us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Until next time, when I come your way again, I am your host, Honorable Dr. Stella Olurotimi Ayamara Dorgu. See you again.